Is she breathing, ma'am? Somebody get her! Oh, God, somebody done did something to my baby!
There were days I don't know why you got me capsized. It's only in hindsight I read between the lines.
I like being back in your state, Tanya.
It feels good to be home.
Home.
It's a quaint little town.
We're in Tanya's home state of Ohio to assist the Springfield Police Department to help them investigate the 2015 murder of a young mother named Candace Prunty.
She was only 26. She was raising 3 little boys by herself, talking about moving to another state, had a good job.
She was fun-loving. Everybody seemed to love her. She would light up a room when she'd walk in.
Candace Prunty is described by her friends as full of life, making everybody laugh, the most fun person you could ever want to be around and a great friend. But to her, the most important thing in her life were her 3 young boys.
You can tell that she was all about her children, which makes that even more heartbreaking.
On October the 21st, 2015, when Candace did not pick up her boys from school, her mom became concerned, so she went to check on Candace at home, and that's when she walked in on the horrifying discovery of Candace lying on the kitchen floor, shot 6 times.
You know, at the time that this happened, she's being vandalized and her car is being damaged, and it's like, this is no random person that's doing that to you.
No.
3 months before her murder, Candace's house was vandalized multiple times. So clearly someone was angry and targeting her.
Her mom, all these years, has been trying to just figure out a way to get something to happen on it. Can you imagine being so desperate you put up a damn billboard?
Pleading for help from the public to solve your daughter's murder. I just can't fathom that.
It's the worst thing in life because you're supposed to bury your parents, but you're not supposed to ever bury your baby.
No.
Ever, ever.
My lover don't believe me when I say I'm not in love with you.
It has been 16 years and still no answer.
Police consider her killing a cold case.
Years later, the case is still unsolved.
I've chosen cold cases from across the country and teamed up with the best detectives to solve them. We're more determined than ever to bring justice to these victims.
Oh,
Good
look
morning.
how dressed up y'all are.
How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Springfield.
Nice to meet you.
Detective Ron Jordan. Good to meet
Nice
you,
to meet
Tanya.
you.
Detective Dan DeWine, how
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you.
We appreciate you guys being here and offering your assistance.
Y'all got a good place to work?
Yeah, welcome in.
Thanks.
I was there from day one, almost 6 years ago. I responded to the scene.
Nice and bright.
I immediately felt a sense of sadness for her and her family. Just lying there, a young lady whose life was unfortunately taken by the hands of someone. It's touched me ever since then. Over the past several years with this case, it's been close to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You can tell.
To have a young lady with young kids and to lose that, it just isn't fair. It's not fair to her, it's not fair to her boys, it's not fair to her friends, it's not fair to her mom.
I know. Do you have daughters?
I do.
Do you?
Yes, 2.
You know, and I have 2. And it's your nightmare, right?
It is.
At that time, what was going on in Candace's life?
She was 26 years old. She's a young mother of 3 young boys. A happy young lady with a big, beautiful smile and just a lot of fun to be around. Everyone enjoyed her company.
Where are her boys living now?
They are with their fathers.
At the time of her murder, Candace was living in her sister's house. She was a single working mom finishing up a business degree. She loved her children and being independent.
Okay, you want to start with running the case down to us?
On October 21st of 2015, our dispatch center received a call from family members of our victim, Candace Prunty. Her mother, sister, and aunt entered the home and found Candace there, lying in a puddle of her own blood in the kitchen near the cabinets. She had been shot 6 times with a .38 Special or .357. We searched through the residence and her cell phone was missing. We began talking to friends and family. They're just tossing out names of people that she knew that were in her inner circle.
Because they have no idea who could have done it.
No idea.
While still at the scene, police contacted Isaiah Elliott, father of 2 of Candance's sons. He was confirmed to be in Georgia at the time. Police also learned of a man that Candance dated earlier that year, Thomas Albert from Columbus, Ohio.
We learned that Mr. Albert was actually on parole for some prior cases, rape and abduction charge. So at that point, we thought he may be a person of interest that we would want to talk to. So probably around midnight that night on the 21st into the 22nd, Columbus SWAT surrounded the residence, and he tried to take off out the back door of the residence and was detained. He advised that he would need an attorney and refused to talk to me.
What happened next?
We obtained a search warrant to search the residence of Thomas Albert. Just so happened in the basement behind the furnace set a cell phone belonging to Mr. Albert, a ski mask, and a small box 20-round 38 special. From this 20-round box, 6 rounds were missing.
Although the police department found bullets in Thomas's home that were the same caliber as the ones used to shoot Candance, they were not able to find either the gun or her cell phone. Because of that, they didn't feel like they had enough to move forward with the case. All that being said, Thomas Albert is still to this day the primary suspect.
He meets Candance in May of 2015.
They met at a club here in town, and the relationship kind of blossomed.
The relationship seemed to progress fast.
Yeah.
Probably beginning to mid-July, Candance decided that she didn't want to be in this relationship anymore. She and Isaiah started to talk again, and at that point, her goal was for Isaiah to get established in Atlanta, and she was going to move down there with the boys.
It appears that Candance was moving on from Thomas Albert, but did he feel the same way? Because if he didn't, that sure sounds like a possible motive.
Trying to figure out his psyche, his mentality, the way he ticks. Are there any other stories or victims that help us know that?
The most recent one in 2017, he's arrested for multiple charges stemming from an attempted murder case of another female in Columbus, Ohio. She was cut and stabbed 8 to 9 different times.
And he gets sentenced to what?
He got sentenced to a total of 28 years.
Thomas Albert is not eligible for release until 2045. If he is charged, Thomas Albert would be very likely to go to trial, so we need to explore anything that might give a defense attorney the right to explore reasonable doubt in this case. So the whole idea, could it have been a random intruder, right?
Yes. In July of 2015, there had been several incidents of vandalism to her vehicle and her home.
3 months before her murder, Candance's house was vandalized 4 different times over the course of a week. For 2 of them, Isaiah was there spending the night. Rocks were thrown through the windows, her car was spray painted, her and Isaiah's tires were flattened. The final incident was a Molotov cocktail being thrown through the window, setting fire to her kitchen.
Somebody's obviously upset. It's not a random attack.
Okay, and it's not just her car, it's also whose car?
Isaiah's car. Possibly someone was upset with him. She decided then to get away from that house and move in with her sister.
Candance reported these incidences to the police, but she never did name a suspect. Could it have been Thomas? Could it have been someone else that Candance dated? Could it have been one of Isaiah's exes? Whoever it was, we need to know if they were mad enough to kill Candance.
I feel good about this one. We're gonna make Ohio proud this time.
Your love cut so deep, got a hold of me. It's got a hold of me, and I can't seem to fight no more.
You're taking us to meet Candance's mom, Patricia.
Yeah, over the years, we've talked so much. She always calls me brother. Whenever she calls me and leaves me a message, she says that I'm forever a part of their family. I made a connection with this family, and I told Candance's mother, please don't give up. We will go through this together. I'm not going anywhere until I see this through. I don't want to let her down, let their family down, and it's been the driving factor for me to give this family some closure. Hey there.
Hello, ladies. Y'all know this man, huh?
We love that man.
Yes, we do.
I think he loves y'all too, from what I've been hearing.
Good to see you.
Ooh, I don't know. Under these circumstances,
I know.
this is kind of rough.
I know.
And speaking about her in the past tense, that's still difficult. Speaking about Candance in the past tense.
How'd you come up with that name?
Her dad actually did that.
Yeah?
Yes. People used to always say, can dance.
How many kids do you have, Miss Patricia?
I birthed 3.
Which one was can dance?
My baby.
Baby. You want to talk about her?
She was a happy child. She always had a smile on her face. That's what she was known for, this beautiful smile. I remember when she was little and I would walk her to school, she would be picking flowers the whole time we're walking, and I'd watch her go through the door and she would turn around and give me the flowers and say, give these to my dad. I thought she was picking them for me. Candace was a special child. She was silly, just oogles and boogles of friends. And I love her past the moon. And if I could have her back.
It's hard for the both of us. And then the fact that we found her.
Right.
I bent over her and I looked at her. Like her skin was kind of grayish. And I told her,
I reach out
and
I touched her foot.
She was cold.
And I seen a little hole in her stomach. But it's almost been 6 years. And I'm trusting Detective Jordan to do all he can to try to get to the bottom of this.
So y'all keep praying that finally something will happen.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Our real crime scene was Latasha's house. She doesn't live there anymore. I understand they found us a place that they're going to try and build it out with the right dimensions.
Nice. I want to see where the back door is in proximity to where we know the struggle happened.
When Candace Prunty was shot in 2015, she was living in her sister's house because of a series of vandalism incidences that caused her to live in fear of staying at her own house.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Y'all look pretty.
Good morning. We've set up a mock crime scene in the hopes of recreating the shooting to see if we can determine whether or not Candace's ex-boyfriend, Thomas Albert, or an unknown person is responsible.
So this here would be the front porch. Here's the kitchen sink, cabinets on the wall, and then the lower cabinets here. This opening leads you into the mudroom, and then here would be the back door with a storm door and entry door.
She ends up like right here, right?
Right by the cabinet.
So the space we're talking about where the whole thing happened is just feet.
Yeah.
You went down to the basement. What did you see from that angle?
Lots of blood through the floor joist. There's an area of blood, probably as close as big as this table.
That would have taken some time for that to leak all the way down through there and puddle in the basement.
Based on her routine, police believe that Candace dropped her kids off at school, ran some errands. She returned home that morning and was killed shortly after that. Since the front door was still locked, it's believed her killer entered and exited out the back door.
I'm going to be her coming to the front door, right? Mm-hmm. You be the shooter at the back door.
Okay.
She comes in, she's locking the front door. She sets her purse down. So she's just going to go through here to answer the knock at the door. She opens it up.
And he's there.
And there he is. Yeah, there he is.
Even if he just showed her the gun, that's the power play there, because I really feel that she's backing up.
And this is as far as she ever gets, y'all think? She never gets any further once the gun is pulled out? Right. Okay. This is the shot that goes here.
Yeah.
And then what happens? When's the next one? A little closer. Down here. And we think by now she's fallen her down, right?
For sure.
Now this would be the fourth shot. Through and through to the arm, and it goes down and it hits the cabinet, causes the cabinet to splinter into her hair. It's at this point, I believe, he walked past her into the living room, grabs her phone. As he's walking back, she's lying there, she's moaning, she's in bad shape. He then... And that's how we get the downward angle, and they recovered it at the bottom base of her neck. The other round, it's essentially recovered from the top of her brain.
Okay. It seems the perpetrator's intent was solely to kill. So it's odd they took the time to rifle through Candance's purse to take her cell phone. What was on that phone that the killer didn't want police to see? We've asked our digital forensic expert to analyze data from her phone, as well as Thomas Albert's, which was recovered from his home.
All right, thank you very much for hooking this up. I think that worked out very well.
Thank you, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
When you look at crimes that Thomas committed, he didn't use a gun. So if he did kill Candance, this just shows how much more obsessed he was with Candance, how much madder he was. But it could also mean that Thomas wasn't the one who killed her.
Kelly, this is Chanel Chosno over here, please. She was a good friend to Candance.
Candance's friends were involved since the very night they found her, and they were instrumental in right away helping identify Thomas Albert as being possibly the person who killed her.
She's just friendly, like she never met a stranger. She was very loud. Her laugh, her general conversation, everybody loved her.
We're hoping that they know very intimate details about Candance's relationship with Thomas. So there came a time when she met Tommy.
He was a gentleman. He was very chivalrous. So it was so shocking that he turned into this completely different, crazy person.
It was never a relationship. It was literally just sex. And just to put it plainly.
How do you know that?
I know that because she was planning on moving to Georgia to be with the father of her children. Candace was very honest. She was probably too honest with him because she told him how she felt. She was getting back with Isaiah.
Ooh, how did he take that?
Originally, he played the nice role. He started showing up to, wanting to take her out, her declining it, coming with gifts, her making him take them back.
He wasn't letting go. He invested time into this person, and she was not going to be with anybody.
He was pissed. He would start to get kind of nasty towards her.
Popping up at her house, he was really controlling. He used to send her text messages. If I can't have you, nobody can.
She was getting to the point damn, I cannot get this from calling me. He's harassing me. He won't stop calling my phone. I'm at work.
Why didn't she want to just be ruder about it?
I don't, because Candance wasn't a rude girl. That just wasn't her personality. I think she was scared of him.
How do you know she was scared?
Oh, we talked about it.
I don't know her to be scared of anyone, so for her to have a fear for this man, it really bothered me because she's not scared, so something not right.
She definitely seemed worried, I don't know what he's going to do next.
It seems that Candance was having a hard time breaking up with Thomas because she was trying to balance placating him with not angering him, all during the course of trying to get away. And the one thing that I've learned after all these years is there ain't no good way to break up with a bad man. On October 21st, when you heard how it happened,
I don't know, just shocked. I just couldn't believe it. I just remember it so vividly and so clearly, but it seemed like it's been forever.
Yes.
It's up. 6 years is a long time to wait for justice when you know from day one what it was.
Some of the homes and everything still around Columbus are beautiful.
I love Columbus. We've learned that our suspect, Thomas Albert, was upset about his breakup with Candance, which could be a motive for murder. So we want to learn more about his history of violence.
Let's try this.
In 2017, Thomas Albert attempted to murder Nicole Pellerin. He's currently incarcerated for that attack.
Nicole?
Yeah.
Hey, Detective DeWine.
Thankfully, she's willing to speak to us about the incident because there may be some parallels between that attack and Candance's murder.
I know you had an incident with Thomas. How often did you guys see each other then?
A couple times a week. He was very controlling and very, weird. He would text me and I wouldn't answer him, and he would just pop up out of nowhere on the side of the building and, be like, you're coming with me. I'm like, no, I'm not. It was just really crazy. He was just really possessive. He texted me like, yo, you gonna come to my house? I'm like, nope. Bye. And the next night, he had texted me from a different number, pretending to be somebody else. So I was like, I'll meet you. As soon as I got almost to Livingston, he came out from behind a telephone pole and stripped me out of my clothes, dragged me up these stairs, and just started slicing me in my face. And I held my hand. He cut me there. I was just covered in blood, and blood was squirting out everywhere. I was just drenched in blood. And luckily, there's a woman that heard me outside, screaming, somebody call 911, I'm gonna die. Please, somebody help me, call 911. And luckily, she called 911 because if she didn't, I would have bled to death up there.
Was he saying anything to you during that?
No, he was just slicing me. He took my phone, took the money, and took my drugs, and left me for dead.
Not only did Thomas aggressively pursue and ambush Nicole, he also stole her phone after the attack, just like Candance's killer did. If Thomas did kill Candance, this could be his MO.
Well, I appreciate it. So,
you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe he takes his victims' phones so they can't call for help. Maybe he's stealing them for profit. Or maybe he's taking them as a trophy. Whatever the reason, it's a nice piece of circumstantial evidence potentially tying him to Candance's murder.
We're going to reach out to Kendra Johnson. She was someone that Candance knew.
Sounds good. Thomas Albert is clearly violent and capable of killing Candance, but was he her only enemy? We need to learn more about the extreme vandalism that was committed at her home to try to identify who was responsible and if it was connected to her murder.
Hello.
Hey, Kendra, this is Detective Jordan. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Candance did not name a suspect to police, but hopefully she told those close to her who she thought was responsible.
First of all, what was your relationship with Candance? How did you know her?
She's actually my cousin.
Did you guys talk quite a bit with one another?
A lot. We were with each other almost every day.
At some point, some things started happening. What did she tell you, especially with you guys being as close as you are?
One night, I called her. It was between the hours of 2 and 3 in the morning. And she's like, somebody just threw a rock through my front window and spray painted my car, Isaiah's car, and flattened all my tires. So by the time I got there, Isaiah and her were cleaning it up. She comes outside and somebody it was in black. And it says, you're still effing her on her car.
Do you recall her having any enemies?
Never. So we had it in our minds that it was one of Isaiah's, females at that time. They were kind of, on their little back and forth kind of thing. So
sure,
he'll get caught up with other females or something like that.
The vandalism seems like the actions of a scorned ex. According to Kendra, Candance wasn't the only one with angry exes.
I'm just glad you never gave up.
No, heck no.
It's always in the center of my head, whether you were to call me or not. It's still there.
You guys spent quite a bit of time together, though, right?
We just grew up together and we was close.
Zanisha Curtis, Candance's cousin, had a close relationship with her. We're hoping that she has further insight as to who was responsible for the vandalism.
Did she share with you why this was happening or who might have been doing it?
She said she thought it's someone that Isaiah was messing with at the time. She never thought it was a man. Okay. So that's all she kept saying. It's one of these bitches. Excuse my mouth.
You're fine.
It's one of these bitches. The spray painting, that's female act.
Sure.
That's stuff females do.
Right.
It seems Candance thought one of Isaiah's exes, not Thomas, was responsible for vandalizing her home. If these acts are related to her murder, we might have another suspect on our hands.
When she moved out her house, I don't know if she knew who it was, but she knew whoever it was getting real. They wasn't playing.
So now we're going to go see Isaiah. 2 of the extraneous vandalisms are with him in the house.
Right.
We're considering that the acts of vandalism at Candance's home and her murder were committed by the same person.
Hey, Isaiah, this is Kelly
How are
Sigler.
you?
She's assisting me with this case.
Isaiah was there for 2 of the 4 vandalism nights. Maybe he has some idea who's involved. So how'd you meet Candance?
We met like in 2010.
Okay.
And ever since that day, we've been stuck. It was like the bomb. Like, I knew I wanted to be with her. And it was just beautiful. Like, that was love of my life.
All right, so the vandalism happens on the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 19th. So on July the 13th, go through that night with us. What happened?
It was upstairs asleep. The next thing you know, we just hear, like, hopped up, like, she ran to the kids, and I ran downstairs, and it's this big old boulder through the front window.
How big was that thing?
Man, it was huge. I run back upstairs and tell her, and then she looking out the window. She like, look at the cars. Spray paint on the side of her truck. I see you her still. My tires was cut. Hers was cut.
Not just put flat, cut.
No, the tube.
The valve stem?
Yeah, those was cut.
Do you go looking around trying to see if you can catch somebody running away?
Yeah.
And?
Nothing.
Saw nobody?
Nope. They thought it was the girl who I was messing with or whatever.
Okay.
But it wasn't. Like, the guy who did my tires, he was like, I don't expect a female to do that. That's a guy.
You right away knew it wasn't any girl.
Right.
Okay.
Like, I knew right away.
Isaiah did not see the perpetrator that night, but he feels pretty sure that it was a man who committed this crime. But right now, we can't rule anything out. And then the Molotov cocktail night happened. And what happened? What'd y'all do?
I moved her to her sister's house. I was like, no, we just need to leave. Like, just start over. Brand new, like, new city. So the plan was I go first, go to Georgia, I get the spot. Okay. So, in October, she wanted to come see me.
She was just coming down for a visit?
Coming down for a visit. And she told him I was leaving to Georgia to go see Isaiah. I was like, why would you tell him that?
How close is that to when she ends up murdered on October 21st?
Real close. Her birthday is the 4th. It had to be between that.
The 4th and the 21st. So a matter a little over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
In the weeks before the murder, Candance told Thomas about her plans to go to Georgia. When you consider how upset he already was with the fact that she was trying to break up with him, it makes you wonder if this would have angered him even more. So at that time, the boys were how old?
4 and 1. Rashad doesn't remember. Sean, in the beginning, that was the hardest. Sorry.
Okay.
You're fine.
That was the hardest. Because he was, no, he asked for his mom. And we both missing that person. Y'all crying together. I didn't know how I was gonna make it.
What did you say?
Mommy's in heaven. She's proud of you. She's so proud of you. She loves you.
We'll go through that doorway right here. Yep.
Candance moved in with her sister Latasha in July following those acts of vandalism and was living there in the months leading up to the murder. Talk about your sister.
She was my baby. A very straight to the point person, no filter. That's what I loved about her.
If there were any incidences involving Thomas Albert closer to her murder, we're hoping that her sister Latasha knows something about it. What's a discussion y'all have about why she's needing to move in with you?
When the cocktail got through the window, I went over there and I told her, y'all coming with me. I think she was scared, but I think she was trying to hold it all together. I don't think she was really realizing, like, this is really happening.
So she never had a true appreciation of how much of a creepy stalker he was.
Right. He had some flowers for her. I believe it was roses. And I called her and I told her. She was like, I told him, you know, I don't want to see him. No, you know, I'm trying to get away from him. I remember when he came over my house that Sunday before, get a knock on the door, and it's Tommy. I'm like, what you doing here? I go out on the porch. He's just like, I just want to give this to your sister. He had a coat, a black fashionable coat. And I'm like, she don't want that. We don't want that. We don't need you. Don't ever come back. Get off my porch. So he tried to step.
Like he got puffed up. Like
Yeah, like, yeah. I'm like, oh, yeah, no. You don't want to do that. So he leaves. You know, he walks away.
3 days before the murder, Thomas Albert showed up at Latasha's house, desperate to win Candace back. He was refused. He was rejected. As we've learned, he does not take well to rejection.
Sometimes I think, you know, I shouldn't have puffed up at him. You know, he took it out on my sister, you know. Sometimes I feel guilty.
I don't think anything you could have said or did any differently would have changed anything. It's like a train coming down the tracks. He was not going to leave her alone.
Yeah, I believe that.
You're not going to have DNA or a confession here with this kind of a suspect, but this is just like huge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When Candace was killed, her cell phone was mysteriously taken from her house. So we don't have her cell phone, but we do have all the cell phone data from that phone. We also have all the cell phone data from Thomas Albert's phone that was recovered from his house.
Morning.
How you doing?
How are y'all?
Good to
Eric
see you.
Devlin, nice to
Good
meet
you.
Our digital forensics expert, Eric Devlin, has analyzed all the cell phone data with the very latest cell phone technology. It's time for us to see what he's discovered.
Let's start with the cell phone forensics. There are a bunch of text messages between her and the suspect. 9/28.
Less than a month before she gets murdered.
You're correct. This is the suspect saying, what do you want to be, texting and phone friends? She makes a reply. Yep, just texting and phone friends for now. That's it. He replies, I miss you, boo. Just don't know what to do. Why aren't you understanding? I've explained where we stand at least 10 times. And then here's his reply. I love this one. Are we still gonna
Oh my God.
So, very clear.
It's crystal clear. For weeks, Candace responded to Thomas's texts, trying to get him out of her life. And time after time, Thomas wouldn't respect her boundaries and kept pushing for more.
Last message that he actually sends her. Do you hate me, Candace?
Which is Monday? Is this Monday?
Yeah, that would be Monday.
2 days before the murder.
Do you hate me?
And she didn't reply. However, he does call her 10:20, 7:52 a.m., and 8:02 a.m. And there's no indication she answers.
Texting is done. He tries to call her. She
Correct.
doesn't answer.
Correct.
Tuesday, so then Wednesday, it happens.
Correct.
It's one thing to hear about Candace and Thomas's relationship from all of Candace's friends and family.
It was never a relationship. It was literally just sex. She told him how she felt.
She was like, I'm trying to get away from him.
But this is clear evidence in their own words. There's no better way to tell the story of their relationship than what we're looking at right now.
Moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about the cell tower stuff, which y'all wanted me to look at. These records disappear, so you did a good job going and preserving and grabbing them when you did. You gave me a couple dates to focus on the vandalism. Then you gave me a few significant locations. You have his residence. And then here's Candace's house. This gives you some reference as to how far apart they are. Somewhere around 48 miles. So July 13th, the date of the vandalism, spray painting the cars, somewhere around 2:50 to 3:25 in the morning. This was Thomas's phone. He hits at 12:49, 104, 119 in Columbus as if he's heading out. That appears to be the normal roadway going from Columbus to Springfield, is that correct?
Yes.
Then the next time I pick him back up, hits up right about the same tower, 3:24 in the morning. So there's a pretty big gap in there. The phone, in this point in time, my opinion, it's off.
His cell phone's turned off at the time of the occurrence.
Yeah.
So moving to July 14th, this is one of the rock through the windows. The incident occurs between 11 and 11:04. And so 11:01, and there's 11:16. He's hitting off at the tower within approximately a mile of her house.
So he didn't turn his phone off that time.
He did not. So July 15th, another one of the rock incidences. Incident occurs between 3:50 and 4 a.m. 3:38, he's sitting over there, same particular cell tower. Still there at 3:51, still there at 3:53. Here's your July 19th. This is what appears to be an arson, 10 p.m. He's hitting off that tower about 8:11, an hour and 50 minutes before. The important part, if he's at home he's not going to be hitting off of her towers. I mean, you're so far apart.
It also shows that he had to sustain whatever anger, jealousy for 48 miles, give or take,
At some
to
point,
drive.
most people would cool
I'd be
off.
like,
and
you know
say,
what, just forget it.
Yeah.
Right.
The cell tower data confirms what we suspected. Thomas Albert committed those acts of vandalism. But the real question is, what was he doing on the morning of October 21st?
You want to turn to the homicide date? 10/21/2015, 8:07 in the morning. He is hitting here off a tower right near where he lives in Columbus. 8:22, 8:37. Appears to be he's driving.
Heading down Highway 70.
Heading west to Springfield.
9:07 in the morning, he is hitting off the tower that covers the murder location. 9:52, still hitting off
30
that same
minutes
tower.
later.
He just waited for her, like nearby her
Come
house.
home.
Yeah.
You just wait for her to come home.
10:07, he's leaving. He's on 70 as if he's heading back to his house.
Thomas's cell phone is hitting off a tower right near Candace's house at the time we believe she was killed. That's huge. Next up, we want to talk about her missing phone.
Candance's phone. This is the LG phone that's not found in her home when she's killed. 9:10 a.m., she is hitting off the tower near her house. There's a break in communication. Then all of a sudden, at 11:32 in the morning, I have an incoming call that appears to be answered and hung up. So this whole call lasts 3 seconds. Her phone is connecting to the tower right near where he lives.
You don't need a confession.
The cell phone information establishes who committed the vandalisms. You have the text message of the evolving stories of the breakup. You can see the mindset of Tommy through those text messages. And then you have Candance's phone close to Thomas Albert's home an hour after she's killed. It's just a beautiful portrait of the whole case right there with cell phone technology.
Good afternoon, Mr. Driscoll.
Hey, Detective Jordan. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, thanks for having me.
This case has been near and dear to Detective Ron Jordan's heart for 6 years. So who better in the whole wide world to run these facts down to the prosecutor than Ron? The good thing today is that we get to sit in and listen to him do his presentation. We're all so excited.
In the spring of 2015, Candance would meet Thomas Albert in a nightclub here in Springfield. He had a love for her, but she didn't share that same love. She tries to separate herself from him and move on with her life. July, the incidents of vandalism into a Molotov cocktail being thrown through her kitchen window, setting the kitchen on fire. We learned that this is Tommy that's doing this.
If he's at home, he's not going to be hitting off of her towers.
Candance's girlfriends tell us she didn't know what to do, and it scared her.
He would start to get kind of nasty towards her.
If I can't have you, nobody can.
She definitely seemed worried, like, I don't know what he's going to do next.
Just 3 days prior to her death, Tommy shows up. Candance's sister, Latasha, comes out and says,
"We don't need you. Don't ever come back. Get off my porch."
On October 21st of 2015.
Is this the same day as the murder?
Yes, later that night.
Right.
We executed a search warrant at his home. We found a box of .38 special ammunition, missing 6 rounds, and she had been shot 6 times.
Same type of ammunition?
Yes. But that icing on the cake, so to speak, was this cell phone technology.
He is hitting off the tower that covers the murder location. Her phone, that's not found in her home, is connecting to the tower right near where he lives.
There are a lot of things that I've learned during the course of this investigation that gives me no doubt that Mr. Albert is the one that took her life. It took some time, and I kept reassuring her mother that someday I thought we would get there. Well, today, guess what? We are there. I wanted to present these facts to you because this is new information that we've uncovered. And with your blessing, sir, I would like to inform them that we will be filing indictments for murder of Candance Prunty.
I know that this has been one of those that you've been working on for years, and I think we're there. So you send it over to us, and we'll get it indicted for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nice, nice. How's that feel?
Feels good. Really does. It's a huge weight off my shoulders that I've carried for the past several years. Thomas Albert will be held accountable for killing Candance, what he did to her and her family. And that is a overwhelming feeling of happiness, to be honest with you.
He needs to die in prison.
Yeah, without question.
Aren't you excited?
I'm very excited.
You know what? I'm excited because I get to watch you tell them. I can't wait to see what they say. This is a good day.
As heartbreaking as it was to meet Candance's mother, to be able to deliver to her this news, I don't even know how to describe it.
Well, hello there.
Hi.
How you doing?
These are the times that we live for. This is what it's all about. And we can't wait to bring her this news.
Like I told you several years ago, we'll never give up, and we'll fight this fight until we get the results that your family and Candance's boys deserve. I spoke to our prosecuting attorney, Dan Driscoll, and he has agreed to let this case move forward, and we are going to present this to a Clark County grand jury, and we will be indicting Thomas Albert for the murder of your daughter, Candance Prunty.
Ooh-wee. It's wonderful news. It's been a long journey.
It has.
I'm just grateful. Just grateful. It's like our prayers been answered.
Yep.
I was so confident that at some point we would get here. Well, now that day has come, and I am happy as hell.
Me too.
Come on, Ma. I see. Let's just ride the wave.
For a long time, I didn't think that we were going to get to this point. The news that he was able to give us today is like a little piece of heaven. Even though it doesn't bring her back, it just makes the rest of the day seem easy to get through. And I appreciate that.
How are you thinking about all this today?
It's so overwhelming. Yeah. I knew there was something. I knew he was working behind the scenes, and I just had to believe. And I knew he's too deep in it emotionally not to be doing something, because he showed us that. He proved himself to be everything he said he was for this case.
And justice for your baby.
Yes.
We are forever connected because of this.
I want to hug you.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for believing in me and trusting me with one of the most important things in your life.
You are truly our family.
It hurts the most. In the dark, see the spark I hold in my hand.
I wouldn't have wanted nobody else on this case but you.
Thank you.
Yes.
That means the world to me. I appreciate it.
You mean the world to us.
Yes, you do.
In the dark, see the spark I hold in my hands. I won't let go. Hold on to
On August the 30th, Thomas Albert was indicted for the murder of Candance Prunty along with 8 other related charges.